ബാക്ക് ടു മൈ ചാനൽ. ഇന്നത്തെ എൻ്റെ വീഡിയോ കാലിക്കറ്റ് യൂണിവേഴ്സിറ്റി 6th സെമസ്റ്ററിലെ BA ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ലിറ്ററേച്ചറിലെ വോയിസസ് ഓഫ് വുമൺ എന്ന പുസ്തകത്തിൽ ചാപ്റ്റർ വൈസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആൻസേഴ്സാണ്. ഇന്ന് ഞാൻ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫസ്റ്റ് മൊഡ്യൂളിൽ എസ്സേസ് ആണുള്ളത്. അതിൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് എസ്സേ ആയ വി ഷുഡ് ഓൾ ബി ഫെമിനിസ്റ്റ് ബൈ ചിമമന്ദ എങ്കോസി അഡീസി, ഈ ഒരു ചാപ്റ്ററിലെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആൻസേഴ്സാണ് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് വീഡിയോയിലോട്ട് കിടക്കാം. Answer the following questions in 2 or 3 sentences. 1. Who was the first person to call Adisi a feminist? The first person to call Adisi a feminist was Okoloma. He was one of her greatest childhood friends. He lived in her street and looked after her like a big brother. 2. Why did Adisi call herself a happy feminist? Adisi called herself a happy feminist because one journalist told her that feminists are those who are unhappy because they can't find husbands. So she decided to call herself a happy feminist to prove him wrong. 3. We teach girls shame. Why does Adisi say so? We teach girls shame. We tell them to close their legs, cover their body. It is as if being born female is something guilty. Women are not supposed to speak of their sexual desires. All these makes Adisi say that we teach girls shame. 4. The higher you go, the fewer women there are. Explain. Answer. It was Wangari Maathai, the Kenyan Nobel Peace Prize winner, who said, the higher you go, the fewer women there are. There are more women in the world than men, that is 52%, but we find very few women in topmost positions. 5th, what is Lilly Ledbetter law? Lilly Ledbetter law is, if a man and woman do the same job and have the same qualifications, the man is paid more because he is a man. It is an American law. 6. Why does Adisi say that Nigerians have been raised to think of women as inherent guilty? Recently, a young woman was gang raped in university in Nigeria. The question both men and women asked was what the woman was doing with 4 men in the room. Instead of finding fault with the rapist, people were trying to find fault with the girl. That is why Adisi said that Nigerians have been raised to think of women as inherently guilty. 7. What was Adisi worried about in her first writing class? Adisi was worried about that what she should wear in her first writing class. If she looked too feminine, she would not be taken seriously. She wanted to wear her shiny lip gloss and girlish skirt, but then she wore a very serious, very manly and very ugly suit. 8. What is the language of marriage? The language of marriage is one of ownership and not partnership. Many young Nigerian women are pressurized by their family and friends to get married, and they are compelled to make wrong choices. By a certain age, if a woman is not married, it is considered a personal failure. 9. Who is the best feminist Adisi knows? The best feminist Adisi knows is her brother Ken. He is a kind, good-looking and very masculine young man. 10. Why was Adisi calling herself a feminist according to the Nigerian woman? According to the Nigerian woman, Adisi was calling herself a feminist because she, Adisi, had been influenced by Western books. Next, paragraph questions. 1. Why did Adisi call herself a happy African feminist who doesn't hate men? In 2003, Adisi wrote a novel called Purple Hibiscus. It's about a man who beat his wife. When she was promoting the novel in Nigeria, a journalist told her he wanted to advise her. He said her novel was feminist. He told her she should never call herself a feminist. In his opinion, feminists are those who are unhappy because they can't find husbands. So she decided to call herself a happy feminist. Then a Nigerian woman, an academic, told her that feminism was not their culture, it was un African, and so she called herself a feminist because she was influenced by Western books. Since feminism was un African, she decided to call herself a happy African feminist. Then a friend told her that calling herself feminist meant that she hated men. So she decided she would now be a happy African feminist who doesn't hate men. To narrate the unforgettable class monitor incident in Adisi's life. When Adisi was in primary school in Nushka, her teacher said that she would give a test and the highest scorer would be made the monitor. Class monitor had much power. He would write down the noisemakers and he would be given a cane to patrol the class. You were not to use it, only hold it. Adisi won that post very badly. She scored the highest. She was waiting for her name to be announced as the monitor, but to her greatest disappointment, the teacher said the monitor has to be a boy. A boy had the second highest score and he was made the monitor. He was a simple and sweet boy who didn't want to patrol the class with a cane. 3. What does Adisi say about culture? To Adisi, culture is to ensure the preservation and continuity of a people. It is culture that teaches us how to behave. We develop our values according to our culture. Culture is not something fixed, it changes. She gives an example. She has two beautiful twin nieces. If they were born 100 years ago, they would have been killed. In the Igbo culture, birth of twins was considered to be an evil omen then. In her family, she is the most interested in the story of our ancestors, their roots, and their history. Her brothers are not at all worried about such things, but Igbo culture prohibits women from taking part in meetings of the extended family members where major family decisions are taken. She had no say in them. It is people that make culture, culture doesn't make people. 4. I did it for peace in my marriage. Explain the statement with the example Adisi has narrated. When this statement, I did it for peace in my marriage, is made by a man and a woman, it can mean two different things. We internalize our ideas from socialization. The language of marriage is one of ownership and not partnership. A man say it when his wife tells him not to go to the club every day. Certainly, going to the club every day and spending time like that is not a good thing for a family man. But a woman says it when he says give up her job, a career goal, or her dream. We raise girls to see each other as competitors, not in jobs and abilities, but in getting attention from men. If our sons have girlfriends, we accept it, but if our girls have boyfriends, we are uncomfortable. We praise girls for their virginity, but not boys. 5. What is the negative baggage that the word feminist carry? The word feminist means a person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes, but somehow it carries a lot of negative baggage with it. To some, feminists are those who are unhappy because they can't find husbands. To others, it is against the African culture which places men in a superior position. Women are supposed to obey them. To them, feminism is a Western and it is un-African. Some other people say that feminists are people who hate men. Then a friend told Adisi that calling herself feminist meant that she hated men. All this shows how a feminist is interpreted by different people. To To many, it means hate of men, hate blacks, and hate African cultures. They think feminists are those who think women should always be in charge. They don't wear makeup, they don't shave, they are always angry, they don't have a sense of humor, and they don't use deodorant. 6. Why does Adisi say that men rule the world? Adisi say that men rule the world because all the rules are made to suit them. Socialization ensures that the male authority continues to reign. If our sons have girlfriends, we accept it, but if our girls have boyfriends, we are uncomfortable. We praise girls for their virginity, but the boys are allowed to do the things as they like. We tell girls to close their legs and cover their bodies. It is as it being born female is something guilty. Women are not supposed to speak of their sexual desires. Even if women do not like domestic work, they are forced to do it. Cooking and cleaning are to be done by women as if they have some special chance for cooking. Even when a girl is gang raped, the question many people ask is what she was doing there. It is as if girls are born guilty. They have to dress, walk, talk, behave, and live as the men dictate. 7. Why does Adisi say that the conversation is about gender and not class? Gender conversation is not easy to make. Men and women get uncomfortable and irritable. People ask why use the word feminist? Why not use a term like believe in human rights? Although feminism is part of human rights, it is women that have suffered for centuries. Some men feel threatened by the idea of feminism. Many people may say they don't think about gender. This is a big problem because they don't see anything wrong with the present situation. When a man enters a restaurant, the waiter greets him. Does he ask the waiter why he is not greeting the woman with him? Some men bring biology to argue their point. They say female apes bow to male apes. But we are not apes. We don't live on trees and eat earthworms. Some may say men also have a hard time. Gender and class are different. Poor men still have the privilege of being men. Once a man asked Adisi why she should speak as a woman instead of speaking as a human being, but certain things happen to her because she is a woman. Gave a detailed account of the incidents Adisi narrates to depict gender inequality. In her famous essay, We All Should Be Feminist, Adisi narrates many incidents to depict gender inequality. When Adisi was in primary school in Chicago, her teacher said that she would give a test and the highest score would be made the monitor. Class monitor had much power. He would write down the noisemakers and he would be given a cane to patrol the class. You were not to use it, only hold it. Adisi won that post very badly. She scored the highest. She was waiting her name to be announced as the monitor. But to her greatest disappointment, the teacher said the monitor has to be a boy. A boy had the second highest score and he was made the monitor. He was a simple and sweet boy who didn't want to patrol the class with a cane. A family she knew has a son and a daughter. Their age difference is just 1 year. They both are brilliant in school. When the boy is hungry, the parents tell the girl to go and cook noodles for the boy. Adisi thinks boys also should cook. There is another woman she knows who has the same degree and the same job as her husband. When they return home, she does most of the housework. Whenever the man changed the nappy of the child, she said thank you to him as if it was not his job. Another American woman friend of Adisi has a highly paid job in advertising. Once in a meeting, she said she was slighted by her boss by ignoring her work while he praised the same kind of work if it came from a man. She wanted to speak up to challenge the boss, but instead she went to the bathroom and cried. She didn't want to seem aggressive. Once She was with her friend Louis when gave some money to the helper for helping to park her car. He looked at Louis and said, "Thank you, sir." Louis asked me why he was thanking him. Then he understood. The man believed that whatever money Adisi had came from Louis. On many occasions, Adisi had to take the help of her male friends to go into some hotels, as single women entering hotels would be considered to be sex workers. So that's all about the questions in the chapter. We should all be feminist. Thank you.